What if I told you that JavaScript, the language that runs almost every website today, was created in just 10 days? Sounds crazy, right? But how did we go from static web pages to full-blown web apps like Gmail, Twitter, and YouTube? And how did Microsoft, Google, and an army of developers change the web forever? Stick around as we uncover the wild history of JavaScript. Hello everyone, welcome to Elite Tech Club. Please grab your snacks and let's unravel the craziest story of JavaScript. Before JavaScript, before browsers, there was nothing. Computers were isolated machines that couldn't talk to each other. That changed in 1969 when the US Department of Defense created ARPANET, the first version of the internet. By the 1980s, researchers developed TCP/IP, the protocol that made modern internet communication possible. This was like giving those isolated machines phones so they could gossip. Now, all we needed was a way to browse this growing network. Enter Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist who in 1990 invented the first web browser called World Wide Web. Yep, super original name. This browser let users access web pages for the first time. No colors, no images, just information. But the web really took off in 1993 when a new browser called Mosaic launched by Mark Andreessen and others. This was the first browser to support images and text on the same page. This made the web visually appealing and sparked the first web revolution. By the mid-90s, a company called Netscape dominated the browser market. They wanted to make web pages more interactive, so they hired a young programmer, Brendan Eich, and gave him an impossible task: create a scripting language for the web in just 10 days. And somehow he did it. He called it Mocha, then LiveScript, and finally JavaScript, a marketing move to ride Java's popularity. Fun fact, despite the name, JavaScript and Java have about as much in common as a car and a carpet. However, some JavaScript syntax elements look similar to Java, like curly braces, if statements, and for loops. JavaScript was influenced by some other programming languages as well. For example, like scheme, in JavaScript, functions can be assigned to variables, passed as arguments, and returned from other functions. JavaScript's prototype-based inheritance instead of class-based was inspired by Self, an experimental object-oriented language. Microsoft, seeing Netscape's success, decided to create its own browser, Internet Explorer. But instead of following Netscape's JavaScript, they made their own version called JScript. The result? Total chaos. JavaScript worked differently on every browser, and web developers were pulling their hair out. To fix this mess, in 1997, JavaScript was standardized under ECMAScript. Over the years, it kept improving. ECMAScript is the official standard that defines JavaScript's core features. Early versions, ES1, the first official JavaScript standard. ES2, small fixes, lining with ISO IEC 16262. ES3, major improvements, try-catch, regular expressions, and better string handling. A guy named Douglas Crockford from Yahoo popularized JSON, a lightweight data format that replaced XML. JSON made web APIs faster and cleaner, and today it's everywhere. Then came AJAX, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Before AJAX, web pages had to reload every time you clicked a button. In 2005, Google revolutionized the web with Gmail and Google Maps using AJAX to load data without refreshing the page. This changed everything. In 2006, jQuery came along, making JavaScript way easier to use. With one line of code, you could do things that took more than 10 lines before. Write less, do more was its motto, and it quickly became the most popular JavaScript library. Then, in 2008, Google launched Chrome with the V8 JavaScript engine, the fastest JavaScript engine ever. A year later, a genius named Ryan Dahl used V8 to create Node.js, allowing JavaScript to run on servers. This introduced the event loop, making JS crazy fast and non-blocking. In December of 2009, ES5 was released. It contained many important features like JSON support, strict mode, array methods like map and filter, and much more. Next came single-page applications. Instead of loading new pages, apps like Gmail just updated the content dynamically. Frameworks like Backbone.js and Angular.js made this easy. The creator of Backbone.js was Jeremy Ashkenas, a renowned software developer best known for creating several influential tools in the JavaScript ecosystem that helped shape modern front-end development. He also created CoffeeScript, a JavaScript preprocessor or transpiler, and also _JS, which is a utility library that added functional programming helpers to JavaScript. 2015 and one of the most remarkable versions of ECMAScript, ES6. This big update contained features like let const for variables, arrow functions, classes, promises, template literals, modules, and more. As JavaScript evolved, developers needed ways to use modern features in old browsers. Enter Babel, which converts ES6 plus code to earlier versions, and TypeScript, which adds types to JavaScript for better reliability. In 2016, ECMAScript moved to a yearly release cycle instead of big updates. Features and improvements like async await, rest and spread operators, optional chaining, knowledge coalescing, big-int, and more were introduced. The next big thing? WebAssembly. It lets languages like C++ and Rust run in the browser at near native speed. JavaScript isn't going anywhere, but it's getting some powerful new friends. During the last decade, single-page application frameworks and libraries like React, Angular, Vue, and Svelte evolved rapidly. They brought along some key benefits like improved performance, scalability, and strong ecosystem. From a 10-day experiment to the world's most used programming language, JavaScript has come a long way. What do you think the future holds? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more awesome tech content. See you next time.